Imagine asking an AI generator to design an animal. Give me a mammal, but also part duck, part beaver, part otter. Oh, and make it lay eggs. You'd expect some cursed abomination, right? Well, nature already did it. Meet the platypus, one of the strangest mammals alive, with a bill like a duck, webbed feet, a beaver's tail, and venomous spurs on the male's hind legs. Yes, venomous. When Europeans first discovered it in Australia, scientists thought it was a hoax. Someone had stitched together several animals, but the platypus is very real, and it's just the beginning, because the animal kingdom is full of creatures so bizarre they look more like digital hallucination than real life. Today we'll explore some of the strangest of them. If the platypus looks like a mashup of random features, the okapi is more like a gentle illusion. At first glance it looks like a zebra, until you notice its long neck, more like a giraffe's. And in fact, the okapi is the giraffe's closest living relative. It lives deep in the rainforest of the Congo, where its striped legs help it blend into the filtered light of the undergrowth, kind of like natural camouflage. Unlike its long-necked cousin, the okapi's shorter neck lets it maneuver through dense forest, browsing on leaves and sometimes clay for minerals. Here's the fascinating part. For centuries, the okapi was considered as a cryptid like a Bigfoot or Chupacabra, because Western scientists didn't believe it exists. Local people know it well, of course. In many ways it's still a mystery, a quiet, elusive chimera of the forest. Now let's head underwater to meet one of the most famous weirdos, the axolotl. Sometimes called the Mexican walking fish, it's not a fish at all but an amphibian. What makes it special is neoteny. It never grows up. While most amphibians transform, like tadpoles, into frogs, the axolotl remains in its larval stage for life, keeping its frilly gills and aquatic lifestyle. This eternal youth comes with superpowers. Axolotl can regenerate entire limbs, parts of the spinal cords, even sections of their brain. Scientists studied them to understand how regeneration might one day help humans recover from injuries. In the wild, axolotls once thrived in the lakes around Mexico City. Sadly, urbanization and pollution have pushed them to the brink of extinction. Ironically, they're more common in aquariums and labs than in their natural habits. But whether in the wild or in a tank, their alien, smiling faces and feathery gills makes them look like fantasy pets brought to life. From Mexico we jump to Central and Southern America, where rainforests hide another surreal creature, the glass frog. At first, it looks like a tiny, lime-green frog sitting on a leaf, but if you turn it over, surprise, you can actually see its internal organs through its translucent belly, as if nature gave it an X-ray skin. Why evolve transparency? It's all about survival. By blending with light and shadows of leaves, glass frog become harder for predators like snakes and birds to detect. Another twist. In many species, the males guard the eggs, keeping them moist and defending them from wasps and ants until the tadpoles hatch. That's rare among amphibians, and it makes the glass frog not only strange looking, but also unusual in its parental care. Now let's get even stranger. Imagine a turtle stretched into flat pancake, with a shell covered in jagged ridges, and a head that looks like a pile of dead leaves. That's the Matamata turtle, found in slow-moving rivers and swamps of South America. It doesn't chase prey. Instead, it becomes the swamp. Its mossy appearance camouflages it perfectly in muddy water, where it waits, motionless. When a fish swims by, the Matamata opens its enormous mouth in a split second, creating a vacuum that sucks the prey in whole. No chewing, no struggle, just slurp. Its bizarre looking isn't just for show, it's an adaptation for ambush hunting. In fact, the Matamata is so specialized for this that it's almost helpless on land, moving awkwardly and slowly. It's a reminder that in nature, being weird often means being perfectly suited to a very specific niche. From swamps, let's dive deep into the Pacific Ocean, thousands of meters below the surface, where sunlight never reaches. Here, around hydrothermal vents, scientists discovered the Yeti crab. This pale, almost ghostly crustacean looks like it's wearing shaggy fur coats on its claws. This hairs is actually covered in bacteria. And here's the clever part. The crab waves its hairy arms in vent fluid rich with chemicals, allowing the bacteria to feed. In turn, the crab farms and eats these microbes. Essentially, it's grown its own food on its body. Living in pitch darkness near scalding hot vents might seem impossible, but the Yeti crab thrives by exploiting a source of energy that doesn't rely on sunlight, chemosynthesis instead of photosynthesis. It's a reminder that life always finds a way, even in the most alien of environments. Back to the shallower sea. Off the coast of Australia, we find one of the most beautiful creatures on the planet, the leafy sea dragon. Related to seahorses, it's covered in delicate, leaf-like appendages that make it look exactly like drifting seaweed. This camouflage is so perfect that predators almost never notice it, but unlike seahorses, sea dragons can't curl their tails to grab out things. Instead, they just float with the current, blending seamlessly with the kelp. Their reproduction is equally fascinating. Just like seahorses, it's the males who carry the eggs. Female sea dragons deposit thousands of bright pink eggs out of a brood patch on the male's tail, and he protects them until they hatch. So not only they look like mythical creatures, they also turn our expectation of parenting upside down. Speaking of mythical, the Dumbo octopus looks straight out of a Pixar movie. With its rounded body and big ear-like fins, they resemble the Disney elephant Dumbo. This tiny deep-sea octopus has a permanent cute aesthetics. Unlike shallow water octopuses that scuttle along the seafloor, Dumbo octopuses float gracefully in midwater using their fins to glide. They swallow prey whole, worms, crustaceans, without tearing it apart, which conserves precious energy in the deep, food-scarce environment. What makes them especially fascinating is their habitat. They live deeper than almost any other octopus, sometimes found as deep as 7,000 meters. Down there, their cartoonish appearance is hidden in eternal darkness. Finally, let's head underground in North America, where the star-nosed mole tunnels through wet soil. At first, it looks like a small furry mole, until you see its nose, 22 fleshy tentacles spread out like a starburst, constantly wriggling. It's not just bizarre decoration. These tentacles are packed with over 25,000 sensory receptors, making the mole nose the most sensitive touch organ in the animal kingdom. It can detect and identify prey as fast as 120 milliseconds, faster than the human eye can blink. So, we've seen creatures that look like lab experiments, alien monsters, or AI fever dreams, and yet, every single one of them is real, each perfectly adapted to its niche. Which brings us to the elephant. Compared to the star-nosed mole or a leafy sea dragon, an elephant might seem almost ordinary, but really, it's just as bizarre. A giant land mammal with column-like legs, huge ears to regulate heat, and a trunk that combines nose, hand, and straw into one. We only think elephants are normal because we're used to them. And that's the point. If you look closely, the entire animal kingdom is filled with designs stranger than anything we could imagine. AI may generate wild creatures, but nature has been doing it for millions of years. It was Echoes of Earth. See you soon.